For 3 years after the scandal that captured the nation's capital in 1972, the American people were sitting and waiting for Nixon to tell the truth about his involvement in the Watergate scandal. His admission that he let down the American people was finally admitted in the interviews between David Frost and Richard Nixon, ultimately giving the citizens of America a small admission of guilt. The interviews were with the hope of Nixon's trial that he never received because of the pardon issued by then-President Gerald Ford. The movie Frost/Nixon was written by Peter Morgan and includes major actors such as Frank Langella, Michael Sheen, and Kevin Bacon. The movie Frost/Nixon has countless historical influences. However, it also includes numerous misinterpretations of history. The movie takes many parts of history into consideration. However, there are also some major events that were slightly different than what happened in history. The night before the infamous Watergate scandal interviews, Nixon calls Frost and tries to psych him out. The phone call between them occurs because Richard Nixon is drunk. This whole entire phone call never happened in real life. Nixon and Frost only spoke to each other before and during the interviews, making the addition of the phone call in the movie a way to add drama. Another thing that is unrealistic is Nixon saying the F word in the end of this phone call. To make this video family appropriate, I am not going to include it, so to see it, you just have to watch the movie yourself. Although there are many accounts of Nixon saying other curse words, his chief of staff, Jack Brennan, never heard Nixon use the F word, making this portrayal of Nixon inaccurate. Peter Morgan makes the relationship between Frost and Nixon as one of a challenge, as shown in the video clip.
You know, it's a funny thing that I've never been challenged to a duel before. I guess that's what this is.
Yeah, well, not really.
Of course it is. And I like that. No holds barred, eh? No holds barred.
He makes their relationship almost David and Goliath-like because the good guy, in this movie Frost, always wins. But in real life, they both depended on the other in the interviews to boost their reputation, so they were not mean to each other. They depended on each other to make this popular, so they had at least a small amount of respect for their counterpart. Finally, in the movie during the last interview about the Watergate scandal, Frost and Nixon take a break during the filming. In the movie, this break occurs because Jack Brennan makes them stop as he is afraid Nixon is going to admit something that he is not yet ready to admit. However, in history, that break occurs because Frost misread a cue card that read, "Let him talk," but he thought it said, "Let us talk." Therefore, the reason there was a break in the interviews was different between history and in the movie. The movie Frost/Nixon is definitely not a bad movie, but it would not be a movie I would recommend to my friends. It reminds me more of a documentary than a Hollywood film, as it starts with interviews with some of the characters and not many intense scenes. However, while keeping that in mind, other than specific details, this movie did follow the history pretty well, which can make it a good movie to watch in history class. Thanks for watching.